Hey, this is Mark Tremonti. Absolutely, we put a lot of heart and soul into this album and recorded 20 tracks, 2 albums, and excited to get it out there. It's just, you never know how much time you're going to have in the future going between Alter Bridge and Tremonti. I wanted to make sure to make the most of my time and get in there. And Elvis's time is very valuable too, so I wanted to make sure we got, I purged all these ideas I have on my hard drive on my computer, and I just don't want to see any ideas go to waste. Yeah, we have Cauterize and then Dust. So we're just going to decide, we're going to see how Cauterize does and then release Dust at some point in the near future. They're both dynamic records, so they both have the heavy stuff, they have the atmospheric stuff, and each song has its upbeat ballad on there. The first record has Sympathy, and then the second record has Unable to See on it. The second record starts out, it's got a nice heavy song called My Last Mistake on there. One of my favorite songs in the whole recording process is the title track, Dust. So it's the last song of all the 20 songs. We're talking to friends like, I can't believe you're leaving that song off the first record, but I want to make sure that people didn't think of Cauterize as the A-sides and Dust as the B-sides. The second record we hold in as high as regard as the first. It's just 2 different albums. Yeah, doing your own thing and not having to check in with 20 people to get answers, it's great. You don't have to. If you want to do something for the fans where you hand sign a bunch of CDs and sell packages with T-shirts and this and that, you don't have to go through the record label to ask permission. It's all in-house, so you can be as creative as you want. It was great. The first record, we had a real small budget for the album. We had a very small window of time to make the album. It was supposed to be just, let me record some songs and put them out online, see if the fans like it. And then it turned into something where, as we're recording, we're like, well, this is turning out better than we anticipated, and now we're gonna have to go tour it and make this a real band and find a bass player and do all these things. With this album, we knew what we were capable of. We had been touring, we had grown tight as a band. When I spoke with Elvis on this album, I wanted to make sure we put the proper time into the pre-production side of things. The same thing we did with Fortress, with the Alter Bridge. It made such a big difference when you really focus on these songs, tear them apart, see how many different ways you can put them back together before they're just right. So we did that on this record. We put the same amount of time in. Also, Elvis bought one of those Neve consoles that you see in Sound City, one of the best 5 in the world, and the thing sounds amazing. So we didn't have that on All It Was, we have that on this album. The Alter Bridge and Tremonti division of where a song is going to go is kind of a gray area. We're back when it was Creed and Alter Bridge, it was more distinct, it's kind of black and white. Alter Bridge is getting heavier and heavier, and Tremonti's already started out heavy. So I think some of the stuff that I write that seems to be more atmospheric and epic, I tend to think Myzal would be able to pull that off better than me vocally. I don't want to ever limit a part's what it can be by me singing on it when Myzal can do just so much more with it vocally. So, but usually between the 2 bands, 80% of the time, it's whatever's best at the moment is going on that album. We haven't made any plans. We haven't spoken. We haven't spoken with Scott since the last tour, and even on the last tour, we had a falling out during the tour, so we hadn't even spoken the second half of that tour. So you never say never, but it's what kind of was happening towards the end of the band kind of resurfaced when we reunited, and I think we're all getting too old and played that game way too much to let that negativity be a part of our lives. We scheduled a tour that starts April 25th in Orlando, in our hometown, which is great. We're hitting every radio festival we can get in front of. I just noticed that with Alter Bridge, every time we hit these festivals, the fan base would just grow and grow and grow. So I'm trying to do the same thing with Tremonti. We're hitting all the United States festivals, and we're going to Europe and coming back in the beginning of July. But Wolfgang had sent out news that I'm so bummed, and happy at the same time because he gets to do Van Halen stuff. But the Van Halen stuff just popped up right in the window of us doing the first tour off this record. But from the get-go, this band was supposed to be a solo band where, if a member has to come and go for doing something like that, I'm open-minded to it. They can come back. I do it with Alter Bridge. Miles goes and does Slash. He comes back to Alter Bridge. I think it's when it's your very first band. When a member does that, everybody cuts them out. But nowadays I've been with so many different musicians. If somebody wants to go and do something and it's a reasonable thing, obviously, I told Wolfgang I'd do the same thing. If I was touring with Van Halen or the Tremonti tour, I'm going with Van Halen. Well, years and years. It's been, I don't even know how many, 16 years or something. We've had the guitar out. I think when they first approached me, they asked me if they could send me some guitars, and they sent me this McCarty model that I still love, but I can't play it on stage because the knobs and everything were in the wrong spots, and because I grew up playing Les Pauls. And they said, all right, let me send you another one with the knobs in the right places, and the tone wasn't quite right, the guitar wasn't heavy enough, and I think after the third guitar, like, all right, well, why don't we just make a guitar for you that could be your signature model? And at that time, it was just Carlos Santana and myself, so it was a big honor for me. So they sent me the first model, and it looked like a big blue whale, a big top of the head and a little tiny lip on the bottom. It looked silly. It looked like they were trying to not look like a Les Paul doing their own thing. I think they finally did that by contouring the top and the way they have the cut in the single cut. And just the overall quality and consistency of the PRS makes it different than the Les Paul and the tone. And so we also had to do our own pickup design. All the pickups that Paul had designed with him at that point had been more blues based. There was no real heavy metal chugging kind of tight high gain kind of pickup. So they wound 12 of them. One was hotter than the next, and we got to like the fifth one and fell in love with it. And over the years, we've put a tremolo bar on it, taken it off. Now we have both options available. It started out just being black, and then we went to a platinum and a black, and then now you can get it in a tri-burst or a charcoal burst or all these different, finishes. I would bet we'd get together at some point this year to do a writing session, just to get the ball rolling. But Miles is committed to do the Slash stuff all year, and I really want to get the Tremonti stuff happening. And whenever you work on a project, if you just half-heartedly go out and promote it, it's not going to do it any good. So we just worked real hard on this album. I want to focus on it this year and into next year. So we'll just have to work in the writing sessions all in between, because I know Miles has said he's already writing for the next Alter Bridge record, and I'm still a little burnt from trying to get these 20 songs done, so I'm starting that ball rolling too myself. Musically, I'd say the song Blackbird is my most proud moment. If I was, on my deathbed and I had somebody ask me my crowning achievement as a musician or as a career artist, I'd say the song Blackbird. But my children, just my family, just thanks so much for the support. They keep it all happening. They allow me to get my ideas in the studio and be what I feel I've always been as a songwriter. Thank you.
Hard Drive Online is brought to you in part by Napa Auto Parts. Stop by your local Napa Auto Parts store and conquer the job and Napa know-how. If you simply can't get enough Hard Drive, download the official hardDriveRadio app. You'll get exclusive interviews, performances, and RAN streams straight to your phone for free. Hey, thanks a lot for watching, and if you are a Breaking Benjamin fan like me, check out this interview with Ben Burnley. By the way, if you're looking for more music, we've got a performance from the Temperance Movement. Anyway, just make sure you subscribe, and until we hang again, I'm Lou Brutus for everybody here at Hard Drive Radio.
I get lost in your love. I get lost in your love, and it's strong. All my time in this world, all my time in this world, I've been alone.